All right, I'm on example 3. A toy rocket is launched from a platform 2.8 meters above the ground in such a way that its height h in meters after t seconds is given by the equation h equals negative 4.9 t squared plus 9.1 t plus 1.4. How long will it take the rocket to hit the ground? All right, the very first thing that we're going to do is we are going to get rid of the decimals. Now, you may not know how to do this off the top of your head, but in order to get rid of the decimals, we're going to multiply all of the numbers by 10. Or another way to think of this is just move all the decimal places over the same amount. That's important. So I'm going to rewrite this as negative 49t squared plus 91t plus 14 equals 0. I think that there is a GCF on this problem of at least 7. So I'm going to test this out. 49 divides by 7, 91 divides by 7, and 14 divides by 7. So I am now going to divide all of these numbers by 7 to get, you can do it on your calculator again if you want, negative 49 divided by 7 is negative 7t squared. 91 divided by 7 is positive 13t. And 14 divided by 7 is plus 2 equals 0. Now, if you don't do a GCF, it'll still work, but you'll get super huge AC numbers. If you can do a GCF like I just did, dividing by 7, then when you multiply A times C, the number will not be as overwhelming. So A is negative 7. C is 2. And we're going to multiply negative 7 by 2 to get negative 14. Now, if you need your calculator to do 1 and 14 and 2 and 7 again, then go ahead and do that. But I know those factors a lot better when it's a small number like this. Now, in order to get my AC to be negative, like it is here, but a positive 13t, like I'm looking for up here, I'm going to need one of these numbers to be negative. Maybe you see it. I'm going to do negative 1 plus 14, and when I put those together, that's 13. And so negative 1 and 14 with the t, I make my t's curved like this so they don't look like plus signs, but you could change it to x if that's easier for you on your paper. That's what I want to replace the middle term with. Okay, so I'm going back to this step for negative 7t squared. That's the same A I started with. But I'm going to do negative 1t plus 14t and then plus 2 equals 0. Remember, I'm replacing the middle term, even though it's equal to what I started with. I'm keeping the A value and I'm keeping the C value in this factoring method. I'm going to factor by grouping. And when I factor by grouping, I'm looking for the greatest common factor between negative 7t squared minus 1t. I know that they both have variables in common, so my GCF in front of my parentheses is definitely going to have the variable. I also noticed that they both have negative signs, so I'm going to make it negative 1t. I'm going to divide both of these by negative 1t to get 7t plus 1. Then I'm going to leave a space here before my next parenthesis. I know I want this to be 7t plus 1. So by working backwards, what do I need to divide 14 by? Or what is the GCF between 14t plus 2 It's 2. I'm gonna have a positive 2 on this little squiggle line. When I divide by 2, I get what I'm supposed to. I'm going a little faster this time, so if you need to pause me, feel free to do that. I'm seeing that it's working out really nicely, that my 2 parentheses are identical. Everything's working how I thought it should, so I can move on to the next step, which is to write the 7t plus 1 a single time, and then another set of parentheses, which puts my GCFs together. I'm going to smush them. Smush them. Smush them. Negative 1t plus t plus 2 still equals 0. Should have equaled 0 up here too. Not my answer. Okay, this is the factored form if I'm asked a factor, but not my answer. I need to solve. So I need to keep going. That means I need to use the zero product property. I'm going to go up here and say 7t plus 1 equals 0, or negative 1t plus 2 equals 0, the plus sign. And I'm going to keep going to solve for x. Both of these are multi-step questions. Maybe pause it here. Maybe see if you can answer it. Maybe I'll put a question in the ed puzzle. We'll see. Okay, so I could subtract 1 to get 7t equals negative 1. And then the next step is to divide by 7 to get t equals negative 1/7. Then I'm going to subtract 2 to get negative 1t equals negative 2. To get rid of this negative 1, I'm going to divide by negative 1. Remember, the point is to get t by itself. And that's going to give me t equals 2. Now, let's go back to the question. How long will it take the rocket to hit the ground? Can time be negative? No. So it's 2. And to be specific, it's 2 seconds. And that is how you do example 3.